Stephen King's A Good Marriage is a movie based off of a short story he wrote in 2010 under the collection Full Dark, No Stars. It's based off of the BTK killer who was caught in 2005. And the BTK killer, Dennis Rader, his family didn't want to talk about him or go on the record or do anything. So there was a lot of speculation as to whether they knew or did not know and if they're culpable. So Stephen King wanted to take that and make a short story, and then he wrote this movie directed by Peter Askin. Now the reason why I want to check this one out is I heard the reviews were not that good, but I recently watched a Netflix documentary called My Father, the BTK Killer, and the daughter in that one, Carrie, she does not like any versions of the BTK Killer used for whatever because, she feels it's exploitative. But I wanted to check out the movie because of this, it got me in the mood. So this movie's about Bob Anderson. He is a man who travels around for work. I think he's like a fertilizer businessman or something, or flowers or something. I don't remember. But his wife, basically, Darcy, she doesn't know anything about his serial killing ways. However, she basically finds out after she gets a pair of earrings, and a woman usually disappears after every time he goes to that city. So at first she sort of connects the dots, and then she realizes what happens about halfway through during the movie. And I really like the concept of this movie of what if a significant other discovered the killing of done by their partner. It's something that I always wanted to see explored in one of the Dexter novels or the Dexter TV show, because Rita, both in the show and the movie, doesn't get to find out about Dexter's, proclivities, basically. So it's something that's never been explored that I always wanted to see, and this movie actually does it. But then the movie's a little bit soft-baked in the sense that it's very tame. She basically finds out, he basically admits it, and then says, you can't turn me in because it'll ruin our lives, our children's lives. They're grown-ups, they're starting their own lives and stuff, so you just have to live with it. I promise not to do it again. And she sort of just has nightmares for a long time, and then lives with the guilt of him doing this vicious stuff, because he also sexually assaults them too. It's not just a serial killer. So this movie, it's lacking in certain areas whenever they don't have enough story. They just go for a nightmare sequence. There's a subplot with Stephen Lang as an old man trying to get justice, but he's retired and he's disabled, so he's not much of a threat. And overall, it's just a little bit, it is a short story adaptation, so they don't do anything new or juicy with it, though. It's very simple, piecemeal. They don't try to go for anything rather darker, like something more vicious, like her having to live with this or her becoming an accomplice. It sort of just ends in a very typical generic fashion. So I give A Good Marriage a 4 out of 10.